What is going on, everyone? It is Vaulted Metals and we are back today with another video. So I just got back from my LCS. I plan on picking up some constitutional silver along with some Morgan dollars as well. Unfortunately, he did not have any Morgans this time. He had a little bit more quarters in his junk bin. If you watched my video from last week, he did not have any quarters, so I ended up picking up some dimes. And that's kind of what I did today. So I didn't make a massive pickup. I just did kind of something small just because I wanted to hit some goals that I had and just some things that I wanted to finish off. So I brought, I forgot exactly what the face value. I want to say it's $3.40 of dimes. A little bit of mixture of Roosevelt, and there's a few Mercury dimes in there. And I bought, I think, $2.25 of quarters. Now I'm going to explain why. So I spent a lot of money this week. I just went on a vacation for a wedding this past weekend, and last Thursday I spent a decent amount at the LCS, and then I just been picking up a few things that I've been getting good deals on eBay, so I didn't make that big of a purchase today. I mainly bought the amount in dimes that I did because I have a bag right here of Roosevelt dimes that I need to finish off a tube of Roosevelt. So I should have enough to finish off the tube. I know I'm a few short on this Mercury dime tube as well. Unfortunately, he did not have that many Mercury dimes. I think I only grabbed like 4. That's all he had. I grabbed every single one he had. Yeah, I think there's 4 or 5. Yeah, so 5 total. Nope, maybe 6. Okay, 6 total Mercury dimes. And then the rest are Roosevelts. Now, again, I did not look at any of the dates on these, so I'm hoping that I'm able to fill maybe a couple spots in either of these books. I don't think I'm going to be able to fill anything with the Mercury dimes, but just looking at the dates here really fast. But hey, you never know, so we'll definitely take a look at all 3 books here and see if we can fill a couple spots. So there's those, and then here is my Roosevelts, and again, that amount of Roosevelts there, I think it's $2.90 worth. We'll be able to fill a tube off with what I have in this bag. So that was kind of the plan. And I figured since I didn't need any more dimes and he didn't have any more Mercuries, I just bought a few quarters. So again, I didn't look at the dates. I don't believe I bought any 64s though, just because I like the older ones and I'm hoping that, there's some spots that we can fill. So we'll start with the Mercury dimes because I don't believe there is many. This book is definitely taken a toll on me. I haven't really been focusing any specific book. I've been kind of just buying whatever junk silver that I can afford to buy for that week. So as you see, there's not a ton of progress, but hey, it's still a fun time. So we'll just take a look at these 6 real fast and see if there's anything. Okay, we got a 1941. I believe those are all filled, so same thing. The only 41 that I need is an S. Yep, those are all 41s. So no fillers there. I didn't think so. And I'll have to see how many I need to finish off this tube. I'm not exactly sure. So we'll count here towards the end once we go through these books real fast. Now we will look through the Washington Quarter book. Again, this book is collection number 2, 1948 to 1964, volume 2. I think here soon that I'm going to start focusing strictly just this book so I can get it completed. I know there's a few key dates in here that are going to cost me a little bit of money, but hey, that's what makes it fun. All right. Like I said, I don't have too many here, so hopefully there's something. I think yeah, $2.25 face value. So let's start it off. 1952D, and that is filled. 1942, not in this book. 1944, not in this book. 1953D, and we have that. Yep, just making sure it was a D. 1954 Philly, we should have that as well. 1959 D, and we have that. 1946, not in this book. 1957, we have that as well. 1954, and we have all of those. Last week when I went, he did not have any quarters. He did have about, it looked like he had about anywhere from about $15 to maybe $20 face value in quarters this time. Like I said, I didn't plan on spending too much money, so I didn't go heavy on the quarters. I wanted to finish off these dimes that I have. Now let's take a look at the Roosevelt dime book here. All right, like I said, I just hurried up and counted them and picked them, so I didn't really look at any dates or anything like that. Hopefully we can fill some. I'm not too sure. All right, the progress on this book is coming along all right. It's not terrible. 1961D. Oh, wait a second. We might be able to fill that. I think that's a 61. Sure is. Yep, 1961D. 209,146,550. Surprised we haven't had that one yet, so that's cool. So let me 1961D. It's always cool to be able to fill a spot. Alrighty. We have in 1964, we have all of those. Another 64. I would imagine most of these will be a little bit newer. 64. 64. Another 1961. Let's see here. I believe that is a D though on that. Yep. So I just need the 1961. Okay, 1962. We need just the 1962 Philly, and this is the Denver, which we already have. Okay, 1962. I said we need the Philly. It's a Denver. Okay, 1962. Let's get that Philly. And it's the Denver. Okay, 1960, Denver. We have that. Another 1961 for the last one. Can we fill it? Can we fill the Philly? Philly. And it's a Denver. All right, so nonetheless, you know, filled one spot, the 1961 Denver, to fill the Roosevelt dime book. And now the funny thing is I didn't really account for filling any spots in the book. So now I'm going to be one short for the tube, I believe, unfortunately. I do have one Canadian silver dime, but probably not going to use it. So yeah, I believe I'm one short. I'm going to count these just to be sure. I'll count all these here plus the ones I have in this bag, and then I will bring you guys right back in a minute. All right, so I just separated and counted everything, and I was correct. I am one Roosevelt dime short of a full tube, but I have this 1945 Canadian dime. Have no idea where I got it, but I'm just going to put that in replacement for it right now until I get the opportunity to get back to the coin shop and to buy one dime. So we're going to fill that tube off real fast. It's always a cool feeling. I love the constitutional dimes because how fractional they are, how small they are. You can get, typically, depending what you're paying for, you can typically get a tube for around $100, give or take maybe a few dollars or so, depending whatever your LCS is charging. I think my LCS today was charging $20.60 over face, which personally I think is a tad high right now. I think 20 times over face is a good high point, and I think that's what it should be at. But again, if you're going to buy some offline, typically you're going to be paying shipping and stuff, so it kind of evens out with that extra 60 cents that he was charging. But nonetheless, support your local coin shop, so can't really go wrong. It's convenient, and it's only about 10 minutes away. So there's a Roosevelt dime tube. Oops, sorry. And so looking at my Mercury dimes, like I said, I wanted to finish off the tube of those as well today. He only had 6, and I went through the entire bin. So now I am 4 Mercury dimes short of another full tube. So hopefully I can snag those. Obviously, I don't count the ones that are in my Whitman books. So I'm only 4 short. Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, I pretty much probably bought a lot of his mercs, but his junk bin's been pretty weird lately. Like last week, he only had $half and dimes, and then today he had no $half and he had dimes and quarters, but not that many. All right, so there's that, and then this is the quarter tube that I am slowly but surely working on, and we will add $2.25 face to it, and in there right now we are looking at $1.50. So there's that. So appreciate you guys watching on the Whitman books. I hope you guys are liking those videos. The past couple videos that I've posted regarding them, they've gotten some decent views. So I hope if there's anybody that's a returning viewer, definitely appreciates and checks them out. So make sure you give me a like for that, because we're always going to keep buying Constitutional. And I just want to say, my thoughts on Constitutional right now. It's one of those things where people are buying it. There's not as much of it is around as I've been seeing after a couple of coin shops that I've been at, and then just talking to some of the LCS owners. There's really not that much. Even though it's 20 times face, people are still paying that premium, which I personally think is fair. Anything under 20 times face I think is a good buy. Only reason that I've been buying $20.60 over face, for my LCS is just because the convenience factor of it. And again, I support local and I go there often, so sometimes he cuts me deals on other things. So I can't really complain about that. Nice thing too, obviously, as I was saying earlier, it's fractional, okay? Most people know what this is, okay? Now, if you just pull out a silver round, some people might not believe it or might not know it or whatever the circumstance is, but pretty much most Americans, especially anybody that's a little bit older, will know what this is, right? And at some point, they definitely had some Mercury dimes in their pockets, most likely, especially when they were younger. So it's very recognizable. People know what it is. I think it's a great route. I think it's good for numismatics and people that collect coins, because there's always going to be people that are trying to do what I'm doing and fill these books, right? They're getting more popular. And there's always going to be those key dates that people need. There's always going to be people buying it, and obviously if the premiums on it keep going up, which I personally think they will. I don't necessarily have a prediction on what I think it's going to be or how long it's going to take to get there, but I definitely think it's going to keep going up, simply because they don't make any more of this, right? They can keep producing 1 ounce rounds, 2 ounce rounds, 1 ounce bars, etc., but they are not making any more of this besides some of the small commemorative stuff that they come out with, right? So it's getting more and more scarce. And after talking with my LCS owner, he's saying besides the fact that no one's really bringing in silver to sell him, he's running out of Constitutional silver because people are buying it up, people are hoarding it, and people understand the power that the Constitutional or junk silver has. So that's my little rant on that. I hope maybe you start looking at it a little bit differently. Like I said, I know there's people that are diehard, stackers on strictly just pure bullion, and there's people that are big stackers on junk and constitutional silver. And that's one thing that I definitely focus on, because the recognizability, it's fractional, the numismatic value. So I think for those three purposes alone, it's definitely going to be a big hit in the oncoming years. Now, I don't really have any plans of selling mine. Even if it were to go to 40 times face, I don't really plan on selling any of mine. But it's something you need to think about when you're thinking about an exit strategy. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you're liking the videos, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. It really goes a long way for the new channel that I have. Make sure you guys check me out on Instagram as well, because I do post a lot more on there of what I've been stacking, you know, my collection log basically in my Whitman books. I post a little bit more there and show a little bit more there than I do on YouTube. So make sure you guys check it out at Vaulted Metals. So I appreciate you guys watching again, and you guys have a good one.